during the times of like COVID-19, increased vulnerability and isolation, what should people be kind of on their toes for online? What should they be aware of in terms of recruiting processes and things like that? What rhetorics, etc. When, yeah.
I mean, I think we're all feeling it. We're at home. We're thinking, what should I do? Oh, I can't really go out too many. I'm going to go on the computer. I'm going to go watch some YouTube videos, whatever. So you end up watching some YouTube videos. It's knowledge. It's media literacy. It's knowing what's real and what's not. What's considered to be like actual media personalities. We have to stay away from social media. Sometimes we have to stay away from YouTube and these personalities that are just coming up and popping up there. Like I think the emergence of all of these sort of conspiracy theorist personalities that I'm finding on the online right now during the pandemic, they know. These groups know, and they'll plant somebody there. And I just the other day I was talking to another colleague of mine who said it's almost like these groups, they see that people were researching women in the far right, and then all of a sudden there's all these charismatic leaders, women in the far right, being put online and being front facing out there, right? Because it's like they want to recruit. They see that that's working as a recruitment tool, and they're like, that's cool. We should do that too. So it's very strange how this pandemic, just regular people spend more time in front of the computer. So these groups know this too, right? So they're more viewership. So I mean, I see some of this stuff. These internet personalities are getting hundreds of thousands, a million views of their videos sometimes. Like, and remember, and I'm not trying to tell anyone who to vote for here, but the divisiveness of the vote down in the United States, where it was still 70 million, it was very close in that vote, either way. So that's how divided that country is. Now think about that. And these recruiters know that, whether it's left, right, and we get other types of extremists as well. Islamic inspired extremists, accelerationists, these types of people, they're all looking at all of these factors and saying, this is amazing. We have a pandemic, causes fear, causes all these different things. Let's get people involved in this. And I think QAnon is one of them that's really, really sort of taken off because of the pandemic, because it's just so many people are just, maybe it's they're without work, maybe it's they're spending way more time at home in front of computer, TV, all this kind of stuff. So we're, things like that are not necessarily rooted in actual, street level violence. It's more like they're on the steps. It's a stepping stone to radicalization to some of these other groups. It's very interesting to see how this will pan out over the next couple of years as we look back on it from a data perspective, to see which things were the most popular and which things were not, and also the different sort of single issue type of groups that have sort of emerged over the last kind of year because of the pandemic, because they feel like they've got the right audience right now. So
yeah, it's one thing I kind of worry about with the pandemic and the current political situation and the polarization in the U.S., like especially after learning about accelerationist groups. Because all last year I was pretty surprised. I was like, why aren't these groups more active, right? Like, this is kind of what they're talking about. This is sort of almost creating the perfect scenario. But then I think the reason they're not active is because they're just letting this happen itself, and it's just going to pull more people towards them.